After 20 hours heading through the Westland of Norway, we arrived this morning to an island called Yttre Sula. And the reason for being here is the wreck Frankenwald. Frankenwald is considered by many to be amongst top 10 wreck dives in the world, so we are very excited about our first dive on her tomorrow. Today we have made the final preparations for the dive, and having all equipment on board Dora Mac make things a lot easier, of course. However, an alternative if you want to dive on Frankenwald is to contact Gulen Deep, which is the local diving company. We hope this episode gives you an idea on what a dive is like, and thank you for watching.
Frankenwald. She was a German ship. She was built 1922, quite a big ship, over 5,000 tons. And at the night of January, the 6th of January 1940, Frankenwald was coming from Narvik. And Narvik is a port in the very north of Norway, up in Lofoten. And it's an ice-free port where Sweden still today is delivering iron. And iron was very important for Europe at that time. And realizing this is January 6, 1940, the Second World War has started. It's just a couple of months prior to the German occupation of Norway. Frankenwald is heading south, and she's completely loaded with iron from the Swedish iron mines, and that iron is of course a very important thing for the German war machinery. And the problem at that time of the year is the weather in this part of Norway. It's a lot of storms and of course also snowstorms, and that was also the occasion for Frankenwald. Several times they have had to seek shelter for bad weather, and the weather circumstances this night, January 6, 1940, is also bad. And Frankenwald is seeking shelter in a bay, but that bay is completely crowded with Norwegian fishing boats also seeking shelter. So she's going out to sea again, and she's coming to this very narrow strait in Yttre Sula, and there's a crew of 48 people on board, and there are 2 Norwegian pilots on board as well. And when they come to this very narrow strait at the island of Yttre Sula, they don't realize that they have a west-setting current, and that west-setting current is very strong. And when they try to counteracting the west-setting current by setting the rudders to hard port, it doesn't help, and the catastrophe is unavoidable, and they hit the little island Brattholmen, make a big hole in the wreck, taking in loads of water and sinking. And the only thing they managed to do is to send out an SOS message on the radio, which is actually received by Radio Bergen further south, and they managed to get all the crew of 48 into the lifeboats. And the Norwegian torpedo boat is sent out to rescue the crew, and they actually arrived on the scenery of catastrophe perhaps an hour later, and they managed to salvage all the German crew. And bearing in mind that this is only a couple of months before the German attack on Norway, all the crew of this Norwegian Frankenwald is saved. And Captain Alexander Erich von Frankenberg, I think his name, von Frankenberg, is very, very he's very happy and he's very grateful for the salvage from the Norwegian torpedo boat crew. And today Frankenwald is a remarkable dive in this area. We're going out with the dinghy to the dive site. It's only maybe 4 or 5 minutes away with the dinghy, and we will come back with some technical aspects on the dive later.
Captain to the seamen, man your battle stations. Poseidon's on a mission, about to turn it up to 11.
Here we are at the dive site at Frankenwald, and the maximum depth at Frankenwald is slightly over 40 meters. I think it's 44 meters. But today we are diving down to the pilot house, which is around 25 meters depth, and then we will follow the aft deck to the stern. And the maximum depth today will be 33 meters. And the maximum exposition time would be 20 minutes, and then decompression 3 meters for 5 minutes. So a 20 minutes dive, and it will mainly be a superficial dive and an overview dive today, and then we will focus more on details tomorrow. We'll try to capture some good dive videos of this quite famous dive break.
the altruistic ones would cherish in their hearts.
Arctic